Okay, so admittedly, I'm starting to develop somewhat of a man crush on Pat Spencer. Now, I am a straight man, I am a married man, and I've had sex at least twice with my wife because I have two children that look a great deal like me. But seriously, what's not to love about Pat Spencer? On the field, the guy's a beast. Off the field, he's just your prototypical dorky, humble white kid. On the field, he is an absolute terror, and he is dripping in swagger juice. So I wanted to, that's an Eminem reference, by the way. So I wanted to do a quick little profile of Spencer through the lens of the Johns Hopkins game. He puts up 3 goals and 4 assists at Homewood Field against Hopkins in Loyola's drubbing of the Blue Jays. And it's the perfect game to go not possession by possession, but to go point by point with a couple of non-point scenarios in which Spencer still plays. So it's just the perfect game to try to show you all of the attributes that he possesses, all of the reasons that I think he's going to be the Tewaaraton winner in the end, and why I think he's, at this point, leaps and bounds above guys like Jeff Teat and Grant Ament that are really the only 2 other guys that have a shot besides Spencer. So let's get into it. All right, so in this first highlight, what you're going to see, this isn't a point by Spencer. This is just Spencer coming up the field to set a pick for Devereaux. And Devereaux's going to run off this pick, and you're going to see both defenders decide, hey, I'm going to stay with the Tewaaraton candidate that we fear is going to scorch us, leaving Devereaux just wide open for time and room, hands-free, whatever you want to call this shot. He's able to just lace it up and put it past the goalie. So this is just to show that even when he's not touching the ball and he's just setting a pick, he's important enough that it's going to cause defenders to make stupid decisions. This is nothing more than just a brain fart by 2 defenders, but great players have a way of making teams commit terrible, stupid acts while in the heat of the moment, and this is a great example of that.
Against Hubler, the shorty. Spencer was setting the pick, and he frees up Devereaux, who had a couple of goals last year. That's his first tally of 2019.
Body language off the 2-man game. Set your feet, put it offside, turn and rake.
So this is the first dish we're going to see Spencer dole out of his 4 on the day. And in this pass, it's just kind of ballsy. You're going to see him coming up the field from X, and he's on the move. He's going to kind of lean into his defender a little bit, and as he sees Lindley streaking from high crease down to the backside pipe, he's going to let his defender push him off a little bit. You'll see in the highlight, he's going to let him push him off a little bit, and as he does so, he's just going to flick it BTB over his shoulder to Lindley. What's incredible about this is the anticipation. His motion of allowing that defender to push him away from the crease a little bit, off his line a little bit, while he flicks this behind the back to Lindley. Just knowing Lindley's going to be there, the trust he has in the his teammate, the balls that he has to throw that behind the back into that area of the field prior to Lindley getting open. You hear in the NFL them talking about quarterbacks throwing receivers open. In this case here, he's feeding Lindley open. Lindley is not open at the time he throws this, and Lindley is wide open on the backside by the time it gets to him and he sticks it. So take a look.
14 seconds left on the shot clock. Here comes Spencer. Behind the back, feed to Lindley.
The flair for the dramatic, the creativity. What a beautiful pass. His top hand was actually pressured, so that is the perfect time to throw a behind the back. You have the pressure of the defender guarding him with his stick, and then the pressure.
Now, this next play, it's not a point for Spencer, but it's really a second assist. I want to lobby to try to get second assists included in lacrosse the same way they are in hockey. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but this is a case where Spencer draws the slide, he feeds the next guy down the line, who then feeds the next guy upstream, and we have a goal. But it's the concept of, okay, a team can stop Spencer from scoring in a moment, but just because they stopped him does not mean they're, 2 or 3 passes later, they're still going to be able to keep things contained. What happens here is Hopkins gets the first slide to Spencer successfully. They get the second slide out to, I believe it was Scanlon, I'm not sure, successfully, but they can't get the third slide. The backside guy is caught sleeping, who's responsible for covering the crease once Hopkins goes fire, and he gets caught sleeping. The end result, a goal by Lindley.
To goal line extended.
Eyes up. Prefers his right.
Posting up into a double team, shovels it off, and Spencer, the hockey assist as Loyola's offense humming in the 6-on-6.
Handed. The spacing is gorgeous. Eyes are up. Tick, tack, toe.
You know what, gentlemen? I played with Casey Powell, one of the greatest of all time, and when he had the ball, you worked harder to get open because you knew he could make a play.
Spencer's first goal of the game, fairly unremarkable, other than the fact it was sweet because it gave Loyola a 6-2 lead over Hopkins at the moment. But it's just a step down. He's going, his defender's going to get caught sleeping. He's going to catch the ball a ways out, and you'll see the quickness of his feet to close that space as the pass is coming. He comes back to the ball, catches, and just lets it rip. He cranks and winds up and takes 2 steps down after he catches it. It's kind of the epitome of a step down, but this is just his raw power on display. He's known widely as a feeder, or people like to look at his stats and assume him a feeder, a distributor of the ball because his assist numbers are inflated, but that's really just a product of teams keying on him so much that they leave a lot of things open for him to pick apart from a feeding perspective. So this is just an example of if you give him time and room, he's going to scorch you.
Off a ball movement for mid-range rips.
Spencer fires and scores. 6-2.
Mid-range rips, guys. Roger, we know about Pat Spencer as a feeder. Quint, the one question we had coming into the season was his accuracy.
In the next play you're going to see, this is another feed. This is Spencer's second assist on the day. It's very Ben Reeves-like, and I say that in the sense that Reeves was incredible at picking apart defenses by throwing the ball over the top. A lot of teams, it became common practice for teams when they double-teamed Reeves to double-team him hard. So if the slide was coming, you never just came with a slide. You ended up double-teaming him, trying to take both sides of the field away from him so that he couldn't roll out away from it and then try to feed over the top. Where you see a lot of teams trying to do that to Spencer now, and in this next clip that you're going to see, it's very simple. He draws some heads. You'll actually see every defender is looking at Spencer. Nobody's looking at Scanlon, who kind of sneaks up into the crease on the backside, the seam on the backside, and Spencer's going to hit him over the top. Scanlon's going to take a step or two down and stick it.
All-American against All-American. Spencer's so smooth, even under pressure. Skips one to Scanlon. And with that assist, Pat Spencer moves into a tie for 9th on the all-time list. Scanlon second.
I'm saying, okay, this guy goes here, this guy goes here. Watch this pass from wing to wing, right through the defense, right there. Boom, right on the stickhead. Scanlon thought about dodging underneath, pulls up for a mid-range.
And in this next clip, we're going to see Spencer's second goal on the day. And this goal is great for 2 reasons. One, you see how quick Spencer's feet are and how much defenders respect him when he tries to dodge. 2, you're just going to see a guy slip and fall. So in that vein, it's not all that remarkable. You're going to see a guy take a quick split dodge and then take a step back. His defender's just going to fall over. It's the defender's bad. The point in this, though, great players like Spencer cause such nerves in the players that are tasked with trying to stop them, that they force them into making weird mistakes. They force them into stumbling, both figuratively and literally in this case. So yes, the Hopkins defender just fell down. Spencer rips it and then does the "Are you not entertained" celebration, which we all have come to love in him. It's that swagger juice that we're talking about that he drips in. But in the end, it's just an example of a great player causing the guy who's trying to stop him to stumble in more ways than one, and then he sticks it and gloats over him, which is great.
Dixie's a rules ninja, man. This guy, nothing you can slide by this cat.
You can't slide much by number 7, Pat Spencer. That's his second. He puts his arms out as if to say, "Are you not entertained?"
Watch Spencer make somebody look silly here. Just a little cut. Whoop. Boom. Place goes nuts, and he has played to the bench this year. He's played to the crowd. I really think he understands the impact that
And in this third goal, I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. We see everything that Spencer does well on display. We see his strength. We see his ability to dodge. We see his ability more specifically to dodge underneath with strength, which is key in trying to be able to edge that defender and kind of get back to goal line, above goal line extended so you can get a shot off. But then we see his raw athleticism and why he's considering playing basketball for a year after he finishes his fourth year at Loyola playing lacrosse. So he's going to dive here. It is a beautiful dive goal. It is a textbook dive goal in terms of diving away from the goal mouth, not making contact with the goalie. He gets pushed from behind. This is just a beautiful goal. So watch it.
That's when you have to say, okay, guys, let's clean up our game as well.
Spencer slides inside. A flag is down. Spencer dove into the crease. The goal is good.
We study for a legal dive. And Mark, when you take us through, you see he dives kind of tangent to the crease line, away from quote-unquote the goal mouth. Now, what the goal mouth looks like is an ice cream cone.
Right.
If the goal were the cone, the goal.
And in the next clip you're going to see, now he's just showing off. We're going to see another BTB feed by Spencer. The first one, you could almost call it ill-advised, except it worked. This second one, even when you watch it, you're going to kind of say, that was a little bit ill-advised. You know, his coach was like, no, and then the goal is scored and it's all okay. But in this, once again, his vision, his hands, his anticipation, his trust in his teammates, it is all there. One of the reasons this kid's probably going to win the Tewaaraton, and it is legitimately a sick feed. So take a look.
That's a tough kid, man. He takes that ball to the dark and dirty areas of the defense, willing to pay the price.
Spencer and Foley finding Lindley. Right now, Pat Spencer is just making this look too easy. He is toying with this Johns Hopkins defense.
Talked about players in different sports who have played over the decades in Baltimore, and he was encouraging fans, if you get an opportunity, come out and watch Pat Spencer play up at Ridley off of Cold Spring Lane, because this is a guy, a generational talent.
And so far, he's sitting at 3-3 now. 3 goals, 3 dishes. So he's happy. This is a great game. This next assist that he's going to finish his day off with, this comes with all the excitement that I'd presume you'd see in a 75-year-old couple's bedroom. This is the missionary of feeds. He's just going to beat his guy underneath, and he's just going to feed the backside, a backside player who kind of comes from the crease and is just camping there wide open for whatever reason, because Spencer's going to draw the coma slide in the backside, the top side help doesn't get down. That's the reason this guy's so wide open. But once again, the missionary of feeds, this ends Spencer's day in terms of point production. He finishes the game with 3 goals, 4 assists, but let's take a look first.
Probing. Anyone who thought Yale was going to go undefeated, sorry, not happening.
Spencer on the doorstep to McGovern. And with that assist, Pat Spencer now 8th on the all-time list by himself.
Defensive mistake and or weakness. Leans in, cross crease slide, that's fine. Colwell, 16, comes right across.
So in the end, Pat Spencer is definitely the favorite to win the Tewaaraton. There's other guys in the hunt. Jeff Teat, Grant Ament, they are both legit quality lacrosse players, and they have to be considered, and they already have put up points to put them in that space. But it's going to legitimately take their teams getting, I think, to the semifinals for either of them to have a legit shot. And that's partly because I believe Loyola will be one of the 4 teams playing on Saturday over Memorial Day weekend. But also because Pat Spencer, even if they get ousted in the quarterfinals, Pat Spencer is just that good. He's been solid for 3 years already. His numbers are remarkable all 3 seasons he's been playing. His senior year is going to be equally remarkable, and I believe that Loyola is one of the best teams in the country, and I believe they'll be sitting there. If not on Monday, they'll at least be playing on Saturday. So I think that for anyone else to have serious consideration to steal this award from him, they have to be playing on Saturday at least come Memorial Day weekend. And ideally, if Teat or Ament want to beat him and Loyola makes it to the finals, they're going to have to do the same thing, and they're going to have to beat him in the finals. Pat Spencer, you are a monster. Thank you for jacking teams up so far this year, and I look forward to watching the rest of this season. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm starting to figure out which side of the screen these things are. The notification bell is right down here. Hit that, and then you'll be pinged in your pocket every time we put out a new video.